Hey, crafters, crocheters, knitters, and yarn enthusiasts. Today should be, and I say should be because I'm filming this weeks ahead of time. It should be December 14th, 2022. It's another Wednesday. It's another What's in the Yarn Bin, and today we are doing Yarn Bin number 1. Now, I don't think Yarn Bin number 1 has any yarn in it. It just has a project in it, but it's a big project. So, hi, my name is Jenny. Welcome to Granny Square Peg. It's a channel where I'm going through all of my yarn and crochet related stuff, and I am cleaning, sorting, purging, and organizing all my stuff. So you ready? Yeah. Ready. Now, this is a long bin. It's one of those bins that you stick underneath your bed for underbed storage. Yep. It's bin number 1, and it is full of squares. Okay? This bin should be nice and simple and easy to go through, because back in 2015, I started buying Caron Simply Soft, and I decided I wanted one skein of each and every color. And at the time, they had somewhere between 60 and 80 colors. Now, I was doing just their solid colors, not their variegateds or their stripes or anything like that. Just the solid colors. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a blanket that had each and every single color in it. And I did that. It's, I already did the video for that blanket months ago. It's, I called it my Caron Simply Soft color sample blanket, I think it needs a shorter name. It has V-stitches and shells in it, right? But when I was done with the skein of yarn, I still had more yarn because I didn't actually use a lot of it in that other blanket. So I made my go-to corner to corner squares, and I did one square of every color. So corner to corner squares, all in Caron Simply Soft. There are 10 rows. I go, let's see, let's start at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oh, maybe this is 11. And then I decrease. So, I should have somewhere between 60 and 80 corner to corner squares, one of every color. Do I want to pull them all out for you? Sure, why not? There goes purple, red, pink, robin's egg blue, which is an awesome color, taupe, some shade of green, their Victorian rose pink, one of the darker shades of red. I think this one is called bone or gold. I'm not sure. Could just be bone, I think. Another shade of green. And you're like, well, what am I going to do with all these? Well, I'm going to make a blanket out of them. Because these corner to corner squares, if you saw my last video, they're so easy to make. And they're so relaxing just to sit on your couch at the end of the day, or your chair, or wherever it is you like to crochet. Just at the end of the day, and sit and relax and make a square. I got some brown, country blue, gray, bright orange, green, tan, red. I mean, I'm going to keep going here. Pale green, another blue, another shade of pink, and another shade of pink, red, black, persimmon, which is orange, green, there's their golden yellow, I love this one, another shade of orange, purple, 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 green, watermelon pink. I love this color too. They're green. I think it's called Limelight. Love this one. Purple, blue. So you get the point, right? Blue, blue. That's everything that is in this bin. Corner to corner squares. One of every color. You hear noise in the background. We have guinea pigs, and it's that time of day where they're running around like crazy. Strawberry pink. It's a good color. I think this is their super duper yellow, and this is the one shade of yellow I really don't like. Highlighter. Green and yellow. They're really bright neon green. Regular orange. They're peachy orange. Along with their light country peach. Okay. Check out this bright pink. And I think they called this coral, which is a really bright shade of reddish orangish pink. Some more purples. Gray. I wasn't happy with the gray, but I was on a mission to make one of every color. Yellow. Blue. And they've all roughly come out the same size. I used a size G, which is, what, is that a 4.25 millimeter? Or a 4.5 millimeter hook? I'm not sure. So they've all roughly come out the same size. So that's all corner to corner squares made with Caron Simply Soft. So I wasn't done there. Do you know what I did next? I made them all in traditional granny squares. Okay? Let's find a good color to show you. How about my golden yellow? So traditional granny square. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. And there is literally one of every color, just like those corner to corner squares. Okay. That's one stack right there. Another one. And I think there's one more stack. So, just like with the corner to corner squares, I've got 60 to 80 squares, whatever kind of colors, how many colors they had at the time. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, I still wasn't done. I had used the Simply Soft for 2 rows in the color sample blanket. I used it to make one corner to corner square. I used it to make one traditional granny square. And then I used it to make a solid granny square, but smaller. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. So there is one of every color for this. And there we go. So that is what is in yarn bin number 1. Okay, let's go. Solid granny squares. Traditional granny squares. In the corner to corner, which I put over on the couch and I can't reach it from here. So since this video was nice and simple and short, I've got some more yarn or projects to show you from another clothes basket, I think. So what am I going to do with all this? Well, when I'm done going through all my yarn bins and I'm done going through all my projects, at least my what I call one-piece blankets. It's a blanket you make in rows from row 1 all the way up to row 180. You do it in one piece, right? These are blankets that you make piece by piece, square by square, panel by panel. All of these, I'm saving these for last to finish these up, to make them into blankets, because they take a little bit more time than just working on rows back and forth or putting on a border. These take a little bit more time because you have to sit and decide on color placement, where you want all your squares to go, how you want to stitch them together, if you want to do a whip stitch or a single crochet to join them, if you want to add in more colors or separate them and make 2 or 3 blankets, because not all the colors are complementary to each other. Like this is one of their neon bright colors, and you stick it with their regular standard green, it doesn't quite match. Or the pale blue, you know, they're not completely complementary. So I might actually have the makings of 2 or 3 or 4 blankets here, and I'm not sure. So that's why they're still sitting around, and they've been sitting around since 2015 and 16. So let me take you off the tripod, and I'm just going to give you an overhead shot of what's in the bin. Okay, so see, there you go. These are all the solid grannies that are 5 rounds. Traditional grannies that are 7 rounds. And my corner-to-corner squares, which are either 10 or 11 rows, I'm not sure. They should be 10, but I think I counted 11. Yeah, see, I counted it again, and now I came up with 10. I don't know. I don't know how to count. So I know there's not yarn in yarn bin number 1, but there had been. I had all the Caron Simply Soft and all those squares together in one bin, but they were all squished in there. And when I had started all this, I found an empty bin and put all the yarn from Caron Simply Soft in another bin, and then put all my squares in bin number 1. I'm looking forward to the day that I can get into that and put them all together to make blankets out of them, because I really enjoy working with the Caron Simply Soft. It is for me, it's a good yarn. I like the softness of it, the texture of it, the satiny, shininess to it. And I certainly love their color range. Are all of the colors my favorite? No. No. There's some colors where, you know, you could do without them. But since I was doing one of every color, I couldn't actually take out the colors I didn't like, because I was doing one of every color. So I'm looking forward to the day when I can get into that one. So since that was a simple yarn bin, I actually have another clothes basket with bags in it, and we're going to go through that real quick and see what's in there. So, see this? There's stuff and stuff. I think it's all the same project in here. Yes it is. Alright. I had to pause the camera for a minute because I had to count. I didn't want you to see me counting one, because evidently I don't know how to count. Do you guys remember a couple years ago where doing pixelated blankets was a thing, where you would have a chart and you would color in a picture, and each little square was part of the picture, and it made it look like it was a bunch of pixels, and you can do the shape of a heart. A lot of people did old school Mario, like the 8-bit Mario from the video game. Characters, all kinds of things. Flowers. I had come up with an idea for a blanket with a design that was pixels, and I needed like 2,000 squares, and my mom offered to help me, and she made a whole bunch of black squares for me, okay? And that is what is in this clothes basket, is all the black squares that my mom made. They are 2 round granny squares, okay? There's the first round, there's the second round, okay? 2 rounds in black. It's done with Red Heart with Love, so it's a number 4 medium weight. And you know how hard it is to work with black. Well, this bundle right here is 50 squares, okay? So my mom made 700 2-round granny squares for me so I could make a pixelated blanket for somebody. Well, the project just fell apart, and a thing happened that it was a thing. So I've got 700 black granny squares for a project that I'm no longer going to do. So now I need to come up with a new project for it. Because my mom went through a lot of trouble to help me with this. So I'm going to come up with something else. I'm going to add to these squares. I might do like something like a old school retro vintage granny square blanket that people would put on the back of their couches in the 70s. Maybe I'll find some oranges and browns and greens that look like they came straight out of the 70s and make a scrap blanket with them. I think that's what I'm going to do. So that's what this is 50 of them, okay? And what I did was I got 50 together, tied them so that it would be easier for me to count them. So this bag here is full of granny squares. There's 7 bundles in that bag, and there's 7 bundles in the other bag. So, granny squares that need a job. So, the other part of that project was with yellow squares, okay? So, I was making the yellow while my mom was working on the black. So I have a baggie with yellow squares. I don't know how many are in here. I didn't count them because it's not nearly as many as the black. There's my little granny squares. Now the thing is, unfortunately, my mom, she crocheted hers a little bigger than I crocheted mine. So I cannot mix the black with the yellow because my stitches are smaller and tighter while my mom's are bigger and looser. So all the black ones are going to be in a project, and then all of my little yellow ones will be in a separate project. And I've got at least 100 in here. And this again was made with Red Heart with Love, which I actually still have the yarn for that, so I'll just show you the yarn, okay? Some good yarn. This is way softer than Super Saver. So, Red Heart, and they call it With Love. Now, a lot of people just call it Red Heart Love because they don't realize the word is with up in here. So, they just call it Red Heart Love, but it's with love. I'm a bit particular about that, you know. So, it is, let's see. Let's give us some details. Number 4 medium weight, which I know that. 100% acrylic, right? How big is this ball of yarn? 6 ounces, 170 grams, 315 yards, or 288 meters. And this color is called Daffodil. Which, as far as yellows go, yeah, it's a good shade of yellow. I like this. So I have 1, 2. This one, the label is falling off, of course. Because why not? And 3. Now, the shape of this is a ball of yarn, okay? And I'm going to show you. Here's a skein, or a skein, depending on who you are and where you're from and how you say it, of Red Heart with Love. It's still daffodil, so it's still the same color. But see, this is wound up in a skein. Well, this one's wound up in a ball. You see that? That's a lesson for today. Difference between a skein and a ball. So what's the difference? I don't know. Size and the shape, I guess. But back in the day, we called this a ball of yarn. And we called this a skein. So, there you go. So, I was making a pixelated project. The project fell apart. My mom was helping me. And I feel really bad about that. So, it's on my list of things to do. But my yellow squares cannot be in the same project as my mom's black squares because she crocheted bigger and looser than I do. Sorry, I was just laughing at myself because I keep misspeaking about the number of black squares. I know it's getting close to the holidays when this video goes up. Hopefully you guys are not stressed out. Holidays are not what they used to be back in the day, right? It's getting a little bit to be too much. So, take a deep breath, grab your current crochet project, go sit in your favorite chair on the corner of the couch, or go sit in bed where it's more comfortable, and just do some rows, or make a square, and just do what you can to breathe and relax, okay? It's a holiday season. We all get through it somehow, some way, every year. You'll get through it. Make a granny square. Make a sample. Just play with some yarn. Whatever you can do to help yourself relax in this time of year, okay? So, yarn bin number 1 is full of corner to corner squares, traditional granny squares, solid granny squares, all made with Caron Simply Soft, and then a clothes basket that's got 3 bags in it, and those 3 bags have squares that were for a pixelated blanket that I decided not to do it anymore, and they've been sitting around for a couple years, and we're gonna do something with it. If you guys have any ideas of what to do with 700 black squares, let me know down in the comments below. And thank you guys for being with me, traveling with me through this journey, because you know it's not easy. And my kids are home from school, so gotta go. Love you guys. Bye.